What's going on, pilots? I've got a really fun Titanfall loadout for you today. Now, we all know that Titanfall is kind of unique with its use of minions or AI bots. In every game there's loads of grunts and spectres. Grunts are those human soldiers who come down in the dropship, and spectres are those little robot characters who are a little bit more tougher, but they can also be hacked and they also shoot at titans. But one of the main reasons that minions are in the game is to give you something to shoot at while there's no pilots around. Plus they're great for farming in order to rack up those points and acquire your Titan faster. So that's what this loadout's all about. We're going to use the most effective tools to harvest those minions for maximum points. And this is actually a great fun way to play the attrition mode, because not only does it help you storm towards that victory by racking up those attrition points, it also makes the games very action packed, because you'll find that it's just non-stop action, just mowing down everything that comes into sight. So let's get started and take a look at the pilot setup first of all for the Grunt Farmer loadout. So there's one weapon in particular that's pretty much designed for grunt farming, and that is the Smart Pistol. As I recently explained in my Smart Pistol weapon review, it's not too effective against pilots with it needing those 3 locks, but when used against grunts and spectres it can take them out in a split second without even having to aim. All you have to do is point this thing in the general direction of a group of minions and it'll automatically lock on and calculate the required number of shots needed to take them all out in one press of the trigger. Needed only 1 to 2 locks for grunts and spectres means it's not going to take long for this weapon to take them out, but we're still going to use the enhanced targeting attachment just to speed up that lock on time, so you can essentially just press the trigger as soon as you see a grunt, and by the time you've done so it will have automatically locked on. So while the job of the anti-titan weapon is obviously to take out titans, there's one in particular that's also very effective against spectres, and that is the mag launcher. With this thing firing out those magnetic grenades, they're attracted to those metallic spectres, which makes it super easy to take down those squads, and it's actually much quicker than using the Smart Pistol. With the Smart Pistol it needs 2 locks per spectre, but just fire out a bunch of mag grenades and it'll take them all out with a few explosions. And for the sidearm we'll go with the semi-automatic Hammond P2011. We don't really need the fully automatic capability of the RE45, and while the B3 Wingman is very powerful, we don't really need that power when tackling grunts, as their health is very low in comparison. So the P2011 is a nice compromise. It's got a decent capacity to put bullets into all the grunts in a squad, plus with it being semi-automatic you can conserve the ammo and just share out the bullets evenly between those minions. So moving on to the pilot equipment options, first of all we're going to go with the active radar pulse as the tactical ability. Now the cloak could also be a good choice, but to be honest those grunts don't really prove to be much of a threat, so while being cloaked we'll avoid taking the odd round. It's not really as effective as the active radar pulse, which will allow us to actually see where those minions are. All the pilot ordnance options are deadly against minions, but the arc grenade in particular is my favourite. Not only is it effective against spectres, which are a little bit more difficult to take down, but it's the quickest one to use since it explodes pretty much on impact without having to wait for the fuse to count down or having to press the detonator like with the satchel charge. Just tossing an arc grenade into a squad of grunts or spectres is actually the quickest way to take them all out, so for the first kit option we'll go with the explosives pack, which will give us a total of 3 arc grenades. Then for the final kit option for pilots, the Grunt Farmer loadout wouldn't be complete without the minion detector. It's going to be difficult trying to hunt out those minions without being able to see all grunts and spectres on the minimap, and it's this tool in particular that makes this loadout so effective. What you want to do is just basically keep an eye out on that radar for those little red dots, then just head in their general direction, take them all out, and if any pilots or titans happen to cross your path, then you might as well deal with them, but really it's the minion points that we're after with this loadout. With all those minion kills, you're likely to be one of the first that actually acquires their Titan. So for the Titan loadout, we're going to stick with the theme and choose weapons and equipment that are the most effective at taking out those little ground troops. So first of all, for the chassis, we'll go with the Strider. The main reason for this is we want that speed and agility to be able to make us way around the map, and also to use those dashes to squash enemy grunts under our feet. There's one Titan weapon that's pretty much useless against enemy Titans, but it is very effective against grunts and spectres. That is the Arc Cannon. Now the great feature about this is that it actually zaps across multiple targets, which as you can imagine is great when you come across those squads of bots. The only attachment for this weapon is the capacitor, but to be honest it's not really worth your time. That just makes it so that you have to charge this weapon up fully before you can actually use it, but in the case of minions they don't have that much health anyway, so you don't really need to charge this weapon up that much. For the tactical ability, the electric smoke is the only option that's going to allow us to actually kill the enemies. The other two are more defensive options, so with this you can basically deploy your smoke if you're in an area surrounded by minions. Then one more effective way of taking out enemy ground troops is using the rocket salvo. These are those unguided rockets that don't need the lock on, so it's easy just to launch them out all in one go and score as many hits as possible. Then, as mentioned, the great thing about the Strider is its dash ability, which is very effective to squish any little enemies who get in your way. So the final two kit options are going to relate to this. So first of all, we've got the dash quick charger. Now the Strider has 3 dashes as standard, but with the dash core you can basically have unlimited dashes, and it's almost like the full dash core. By the time you've used all 3 dashes with the dash quick charger, the first one will have pretty much recharged. So you can basically just keep pressing that dash button and skate around the map crushing those little soldiers. Then relating to this is the core accelerator, which will allow the Strider to acquire its dash core much sooner. But to be honest, with a dash quick charger you don't really need that dash core, so instead you might even want to go with the nuclear ejection, which will not only allow you to deal some damage against enemy titans who are likely to be able to take you out with ease, seeing as we're using the quite weak Strider with that ineffective arc cannon. Plus that nuclear blast is always effective at taking out a couple more minions while you're soaring off in your ejector seat. So I'll definitely give this Grunt Farmer loadout a try in Titanfall. It's lots of fun just mowing down those minions. I scored 38 minion kills in this game, but I guess I probably could have acquired even more. But that quickly and easily got me an 80+ attrition score game, so if you're wanting to pull out those high scores yourself, then this is a great way to rack up those free points. So if you did enjoy my video, or if you just like the sound of the loadout, then I'd really appreciate a thumbs up just to help spread the word and share the info with more Titanfall fans. Don't forget to check out my previous Titanfall loadouts by following the link in the description to the playlist, and while you're in there don't forget to click my links to Twitter and Facebook to come and say hello and chat about anything Titanfall related. If you're new to my videos, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stick around for all my upcoming Titanfall loadouts and weapon guides. Otherwise, thanks for watching and I'll catch you all later.